I'm Mike Thomas, President of Kiwi Indian Motorcycle Company. This video is to show you the correct installation of the oil fittings into the oil tank, and also explain about the non-galling fuel petcocks that are compatible with today's fuels. So first off, actually I like to show this headrest off. This is a hand-painted headrest on one of our new Kiwi tanks. This looks absolutely bitchin' rather than a decal. Anyway, this one here is the return tube. It's for the feed, breather, and tank drain. I like to use Loctite 567 pasty Teflon on the fittings. Just put a little bit on the threads. This is the breather tube. Sorry, that's the return tube. And next up is the feed. Normally the feed would have a little extension on the top up here. That was actually in the old days before filters. They never used filters, and that was to stop all the sediment and crap from that settle in the bottom of the tank from entering the engine. But today we've got a filter which I will cover. It's a filter we've come up with quite some years ago. This is the breather line. It will fit in here like so. And then you're either going to have the stock drain plug, or this is a quick drain, which I'll explain that. What it is, it's got a key on it. I have to show it separately. It's a bayonet, and it lifts this little doodacky off its seat. When that's fitted into the tank, don't use too much force on it. What happens is it'll actually, the plunger inside here will actually collapse onto itself. So the threaded portion here will collapse onto the barrel. So just barely nip it in, and that's it. Don't get carried away, otherwise it will jam that plunger. But this is actually a real slick setup. This is a quick drain. Nice easy way to change your oil in the oil tank. It's got this bayonet key. It's a tube, and the tube just sits in a can. But just imagine this is in your oil tank up here, and you just put the key in, twist it, lifts the seal off its seat, pedals out down the tube into your container. When it's all done, just pull it out. It automatically shuts off, and you're done. No muss, no fuss, nice and clean. It's always usually a bitch changing oil on an Indian, but these quick drains just really make life so much easier. This is with the fittings installed. Return, feed, breather, quick drain or drain plug. Quick drain works nice and easy. Put it in, twist it, put the other end of the hose into a can, let it pedal down into that, come back later on, remove the hose, and you're done. It's just nice, easy, no cleanup. And this is our anti-galling petcocks. Some years ago, I took the lead out of the fuel. All petcocks back in the day, even today, they've got brass on brass, meaning brass body, brass barrel, lever part, and with no lead in there, what happens is it ends up galling over a period of time. It doesn't take that long. It's gas-resistant grease. That's just a temporary fix. It lasts for a little while. You're better off just to put these anti-galling petcocks that we've come out with. Some guys, you know, it doesn't make any sense that they want to cheap out, and what they'll do is they'll get a pair of pliers on here, start twisting it. What that does is it twists the whole petcock itself, and an original tank, so it'll actually break the solder joint in here because the whole panel will start flexing, and next thing you know, you've gone from bad to worse. So for a few dollars you can get these nice anti-galling petcocks, and it just makes a huge amount of difference. While at it, fit the Kiwi in-tank oil filter. It's got a gasket or seal on the bottom. Put a little bit of oil on the bottom before fitting it over the return tube. It's got a 10 micron filter, element paper, nice and fine. It's got this bracket I designed in the top so you can grab it with a pair of pliers or a piece of wire. It's got a 90-degree bend on the end, that way you can pull it out. It's going to fit over the return tube on the inside of the tank. Cannot fit over there's no filter that we can put over the feed side. Any filter that I've ever tried on the feed side, it starves the engine of oil, and that's a bad thing. So the only way to do it is on the return. Start out with a clean tank, use the filter. From that point on, you've always got a clean tank. Line up the return tube with, just bend it over with your fingers to the center of the cap, and then just slide the return, or slide the filter over the return tube. It really is that easy. Over here I've got a display of a filter. It's been tore apart, and you can see on the element what's actually being caught. It's all that crap. Some guys will say, you know what, Indians don't need, never had an oil filter from day one. Well, I defy anybody to go out to their car or pickup, unscrew their oil filter, and drive around for the rest of the vehicle life without a filter. You're not going to do it to your vehicle, and that motor is a heck of a lot cheaper to rebuilding your Indian engine. Some guys use magnets. Well, magnets will collect magnetic particles. They'll not collect any aluminum or damaging carbon that's floating around in the oil. So the filter media is going to catch everything, and that's the only way to go.